My name's Doug Censor Martin. I'm 25. I've been playing Call of Duty since I was 12, so 13 years now. 13 years, man. More than half my life. That's crazy.
15 seconds left. Censor needs to go for the defuse. Ace is going to check. Oh, he gets the kill. Is he going to be able to get the defuse as well?
He's got time.
I don't think you could have wanted anything else to end this game. Cole Chan, Censor one-on-one. Doug,
Oh my God!
able to get the final kill.
3 versus 3. Time is ticking. Oh, Censor! He's just going to kill a bubble game by a second. Censor! Unbelievable play. He's win the championship.
I'd say the greatest individual player that I played with was Slasher, just because playing with him personally, I just know that when the moment gets there and he has to make the play, he does. And he not only did it when he played with me, but he's done it very consistently throughout his entire career. So I think like when all the money's on the line, Slasher's the type of guy you want on your team. The greatest player I ever played against was Gunless. By far, like I've never seen a player that had that much talent and was that like well aware of what was going on. Like the kid was, it felt like he was literally playing with X-ray vision and in slow motion so that he could just react to everything as fast as possible. Like I don't know how you could play as well as he did during some of the stretches that he had in that season. That by far was definitely the best player I've ever played against.
Gunless finds 2 in backfire, and it's phenomenal performance out of him as he finds 3. Fantastic stuff from Gunless.
The greatest Call of Duty team in history has to be the Optic team. That Optic dynasty that won champs in IW, the Karma, Crim6, Scump, and Formula team. I remember we played them before they had Karma and they had Nade Shot, and they were just a powerhouse.
Nade Shot is going to go for that challenge. Nicely played from him, but there's still Ace alive with 12 seconds left. Ace is going to cause some damage, but no! Nade Shot just turns around and destroys him.
It really took everything out of us to beat them, so... and then you add Karma to that team and you take Nade out of the equation. Not to say Nade's a bad player, but Karma's he's the second greatest player in Call of Duty history behind Crim6 to me. So you got 2 of the literally number 1 and number 2. Formally, you could argue is top 5 as well, easily. And then Scump as well. Like all 4 of those players, you could definitely make a case that they're all top 5. And 2 of them are the greatest of all time. So when those guys were motivated, when those guys were literally on their grind and it was a 4v4 competitive scene, that team was really hard to beat. So they have to be the greatest team of all time.
They are the greatest roster in Call of Duty history.
The greatest Call of Duty game I wasn't involved in that I watched has to have been Black Ops 2. I played it for the first 2 months of the game and then I stopped playing at Champs time. I dropped Clayster. And then Clayster held a grudge on me and he ended up picking up 3 European players and getting destroyed at the event. He should have picked up me again, but he didn't.
He's going to go for the defuse. He's going to get taken out from behind, and that is going to be it, guys. Inferno will make their way to the top 16. Unite, oh my God. Unite gets knocked. They can't do any more after this. They lost 2.
I had to sit out and Clayster was like actively trying out people on his stream. And I just kept hitting him up like, Clay, I know I screwed you over, but come on, just give me a chance. Come on, pick me up. And he never gave me a chance. And I sat out and I was so upset because I was really good at Black Ops 2 and I was on a top team in the game in the beginning. I think I got 4th with Envy.
Censor going 37 and 22.
That is huge. Censor actually a really strong player in his game.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to play at Champs and I never got to play, so I just sat out for the rest of that year. But that game was so much fun to watch and I thought it was really balanced, and it's still to this day for a lot of pros is the greatest CoD competitive game we've ever seen. So I wish I was able to play a little bit more that year. Black Ops 2 Champs, that Champs was so underrated. I think like as time goes on, people just forget. I truly do. I thought Rambo was just horrible. I thought he wasn't that good. And I remember it was the last map at Call of Duty Champs, and it was, what was it like? What was the map called again? I forgot. It was the map with the pipes. That search and destroy map. It'll come back to me. I think it was like Meltdown. I remember Rambo started off like 10-1, and they were up like 3-1 or 2-1 in the search. I was just sitting there at my setup watching this, and I'm like, Rambo Ray is going to be the MVP of Call of Duty Champs. And when all the pressure was on, this guy produced at the highest level. So I remember sitting there watching that, and then they lost, and there was like the Semtex and the stick, and then Proofy and the 1v1 with Killa. That to me just like stands out, and that was just like a really exciting match. So definitely Black Ops 2 Champs.
It's all hanging on this one kill. 12 seconds left on the clock. Proofy has to go back. Killa's gonna have to chase Proofy. Proofy has to go for the defuse here.
He's done it.
He's gonna get it.
He's gonna get it.
He does it.
We have a world
wins the championship.
Huge play.
Your winner here, the Call of Duty Championship.
I think the worst career choice I ever made was dropping Clayster in Black Ops 2. just because at the time Clayster wasn't really known as a good player. I'll never forget, he used to turn on his stream. I used to scrim with him, and when we'd play like standoff capture the flag, and Clayster would have 7 viewers on Twitch. I'll never forget watching that. I'm like, wow, like this guy just has long hair, he just talks a lot of and he has like no viewers, and like he never really did anything in the scene. And it was like me, him, Fears, and Saints. And Fears at the time was like a top player. Everyone knew him, and Fears was just giving Clayster a lot of like and just talking a lot of trash to him. And then in hindsight, it's like, wait, no, Clayster was actually the player who wanted to win. Clayster was the player who was really motivated. Clayster was the player who was really great. And that's the guy I should have put all my trust into. I should have listened to Clayster more. I should have trusted him more, because we probably could have been able to win events together. But because I listened to Fears and I fed into this negativity, and I just didn't stand up for the guy, he ended up not wanting to play with me, and he ended up doing his thing and getting second at an event in Black Ops 2, and now he's one of the greatest players. He's won 2 world championships. So not having Clayster on my team in Black Ops 2 and allowing him to just leave or just booting him off the team was definitely the worst move I've ever made. Playing with apathy was the best career decision that I've ever made, because I won nationals, I stopped playing in Black Ops 2, and then I decided to come back, and I went to one event with a pickup team, and at that event I was with apathy there, and we weren't really the best of friends, like we were just acquaintances, but he was in the same shoes as me, and we had a long talk, and everything just clicked right then and there. We just saw things on the exact same page. We're in the same situation, and we both believed in each other. And yeah, we were just able to just run the table. Like, we were just able to pick up players and figure out the best teams right away, knock off 2 dynasties. We knocked off the Complexity dynasty. We made those guys basically quit playing with each other. We knocked off the Optic dynasty in the beginning of AW, and then obviously Nate Chat retired after champs. So definitely playing with apathy was the best career choice ever made.